Strange marks appearing on the surface of a dam led maintenance workers to a mind-blowing discovery that stunned everyone. What they found went beyond imagination, challenging what we thought we knew about the powers of nature. The first sign that something was amiss came on a crisp autumn morning as Antonio Rossi squinted at the high-resolution images displayed on his computer screen. As the lead engineer for the Sannino Dam maintenance team, he had seen countless photos of the massive concrete structure nestled in the Italian Alps, but these were different. "Marta, come take a look at this," Antonio called to his colleague, unable to hide the confusion in his voice. Marta Biani, a seasoned geologist, leaned over his shoulder, her brow furrowing as she studied the image. The photo showed the dam's imposing wall, a near-vertical expanse of gray concrete stretching skyward, but scattered across its face were dozens of peculiar dark spots, each about the size of a small car. They appeared to be clinging to the surface, defying gravity. "What am I looking at here, Antonio?" Marta asked, her voice tinged with a mix of curiosity and concern. Antonio zoomed in on one of the spots, but the resolution quickly became too pixelated to discern any details. "I'm not sure," he admitted. "At first, I thought it might be some kind of algae growth, but the pattern is unusual." As word spread through the office, other team members gathered around Antonio's desk, each offering their own theories. Sarah, the team's environmental specialist, suggested it could be a new type of lichen thriving in the unique microclimate created by the dam. Dario, always quick to jump to worst-case scenarios, muttered about potential structural damage. "Could it be equipment malfunction?" suggested Carlo, their tech expert. "Maybe the drone's camera is picking up some kind of interference or artifacts." Antonio shook his head. "The rest of the image is crystal clear. It's just these spots that don't make sense." As the team debated, the atmosphere in the room grew tense. The Sannino Dam wasn't just any structure, it was a critical piece of infrastructure, providing both hydroelectric power and water management for the region. Any unexplained anomaly could potentially signal a serious problem. "Marta, ever the voice of reason, spoke up. Before we start panicking, we need more information. These images aren't giving us enough to go on." Antonio nodded in agreement. "You're right, we need clearer footage, maybe from different angles." "Carlo, can you prep the drone for another flight?" Carlo hesitated. "The weather forecast for the next few days isn't great. We might have to wait for a clear day to get good visibility." The team exchanged worried glances. Waiting didn't sit well with any of them. They knew rushing out in poor conditions could be dangerous and ultimately unproductive. "All right," Antonio decided. "We'll plan for the next available clear day. In the meantime, I want everyone to review our maintenance logs, see if there's anything, and I mean anything, that might explain what we're seeing." As the team scattered to their tasks, Antonio couldn't shake the feeling they were on the brink of something big. He studied the dam's blueprints, hoping for a clue about the mysterious spots. Days of research and expert consultations yielded no answers. Finally, on a calm morning, the team gathered as Carlo launched the drone. Antonio reminded them to note every detail, but when the drone reached the dam's face, the spots had vanished. The concrete stood bare and untouched. "Well, I'll be damned," Antonio muttered, relief mingling with disappointment. Marta reassured them. "At least we know it's not structural." Sarah added, "No algae or lichen either. Environmentally, we're in the clear." For a moment, the team basked in the reassurance that their beloved dam wasn't facing any immediate threats. Yet, as the initial relief wore off, an undercurrent of curiosity began to take hold. The mystery of the vanishing spots nagged at their professional instincts. Carlo, his brow furrowed in thought, was the first to voice what they were all thinking. But what were they? "We can't just ignore what we saw in those initial images." Dario, usually the pessimist of the group, surprised everyone with his enthusiasm. Maybe they were birds, large ones like eagles or something, perched on the dam wall. This suggestion sparked a flurry of discussion. Some team members nodded eagerly, latching onto this plausible explanation. Others, however, weren't so easily convinced. "Birds clinging to a near-vertical concrete surface?" Marta questioned, skepticism evident in her voice. "I've never heard of birds behaving like that." Antonio, caught between relief and curiosity, made a decision. "Look, we're all glad it's not a maintenance issue, but I think we owe it to ourselves to get to the bottom of this. How about we try again later today? The lighting will be different, and if these things, whatever they are, have a pattern to their appearance, we might catch them." The 3-minute drive from their workspace to the dam felt like a small price to pay to satisfy their curiosity. The team agreed enthusiastically, their professional curiosity piqued as they dispersed to their regular duties. Theories flew back and forth. Some stuck to the bird hypothesis, researching local avian species that might explain the sighting. Others delved into more exotic explanations. Could it be some kind of optical illusion caused by water droplets, or perhaps a previously undocumented phenomenon related to the dam's microclimate? The mundane tasks of dam maintenance took on an air of anticipation, each passing hour bringing them closer to their second attempt at unraveling the mystery. As afternoon approached, the team reconvened, buzzing with theories and counter-theories. Carlo had spent his lunch break fine-tuning the drone's camera settings, determined to capture the clearest possible images. Sarah arrived with a stack of bird identification guides, while Dario proudly brandished a pair of high-powered binoculars he'd borrowed from the maintenance room. Even the usually stoic Marta couldn't hide her excitement. "I still think the bird theory is far-fetched," she admitted, "but I can't wait to see what we find. It's not often we get a real mystery in this line of work." Antonio surveyed his team, a mix of amusement and pride on his face. What had started as a routine inspection had transformed into an impromptu investigation, igniting a passion for discovery he hadn't seen in years. As they prepared for the afternoon drone flight, the air was thick with anticipation. Would the spots reappear? If so, what would they reveal themselves to be? Birds, as some insisted, or something altogether more extraordinary? One thing was certain, regardless of what they found or didn't find, this was a day at work they wouldn't forget. As the drone ascended for its second flight of the day, the anticipation among the Cennino Dam maintenance team was palpable. All eyes were glued to the monitor, searching for any sign of the mysterious spots that had puzzled them earlier. Suddenly, Carlo's voice cut through the tense silence. "There, look at the lower left quadrant." The team leaned in, squinting at the screen. Sure enough, dark spots had reappeared on the dam's near vertical face, but this time, as the drone inched closer, the high-resolution camera reveals something utterly unexpected. "Are those goats?" Sarah gasped, her voice a mixture of disbelief and awe. Indeed, the spots were not birds, algae, or any form of structural damage. They were alpine ibex goats, clinging to the dam's wall with seemingly impossible ease. The animals, with their distinctive curved horns, were scattered across the concrete face, some standing on ledges no wider than a coin's edge. Antonio shook his head in amazement. "How on earth can they be up there? That surface is almost vertical." The team watched, transfixed, as the goats navigated the dam wall with surprising agility. They moved with confidence, finding footholds invisible to the human eye and maintaining perfect balance despite the dizzying height. Marta, her scientific curiosity overriding her initial shock, began to analyze the situation. "This is extraordinary. Alpine ibex are known for their climbing abilities, but I've never heard of them scaling man-made structures like this." As the drone captured more footage, the team's disbelief gradually gave way to a sense of wonder. They observed the goats not just standing on the dam, but actively climbing it, young kids following their mothers, learning the precarious art of navigating the near vertical surface. "But why?" Dario asked, voicing the question on everyone's mind. Why would they risk their lives to climb the dam? The question spurred the team into action. Over the next few days, they dove into research, reaching out to wildlife biologists, geologists, and other experts to understand this bizarre behavior. The answer, when it came, was surprisingly simple yet fascinating. During a video call, wildlife biologist Dr. Alessandra Neri explained, "It's all about salt. The mineral salts seeping from the dam's concrete attract the ibex. They need it in their diet." The team exchanged glances, understanding that these daring animals were risking their lives for a salt lick. Intrigued, the team delved deeper. Sarah pointed out the ibex's special hooves, rubbery and concave for gripping, while Carlo highlighted their exceptional balance due to a highly developed inner ear. Realizing the significance of their discovery, Antonio proposed they capture footage to share with the world. The team used drones to film the ibex scaling the dam's walls. Hours into recording, they spotted something incredible. Two large male ibex engaged in fierce combat on the steep dam face, risking fatal falls for prime spots. The team watched in awe, marveling at the ibex's strength, precision, and survival instincts. The team watched in a mixture of horror and amazement as the goats continued their battle, seemingly oblivious to the deadly drop beneath them. Their hooves found impossible purchase on the tiniest of protrusions, their balance never faltering even as they threw their full weight into each clash of horns. "I can't believe what I'm seeing," Antonio muttered, shaking his head. "It's like they have absolutely no fear, no concept of the danger they're in." As the fight reached its climax, the losing goat made a daring escape, leaping from one precarious perch to another with heart-stopping agility. The victor claimed the coveted spot, proudly licking the mineral-rich concrete as if the death-defying battle had been nothing more than a minor inconvenience. Realizing the magnitude of what they had captured, the team knew they had to share it with the world. With trembling hands, Carlo edited the footage, ensuring it showcased the full drama of the encounter while respecting the animals. The video went viral, leaving the world in awe. No one could believe what they were seeing as the fearless ibex defied gravity on the steep walls of Cennino Dam. Comments poured in, capturing viewers' amazement. "This is unreal. How can they do that? I've watched it 20 times and still can't believe it. Nature is wild. Those goats act like gravity doesn't apply to them." Social media buzzed with memes, shares, and millions of views, turning the Cennino Dam ibex into a global sensation. Their incredible feat sparked new interest in wildlife and reminded us of nature's resilience and adaptability. What other hidden wonders might be waiting to be discovered? What do you think? Let us know in the comments.